Yeah.
You know what fucking blows my mind? Like, I won't even wear white on spaghetti day at school. So if I'm going to go out serial killing, the last thing I'm wearing is white pants. I mean, come on.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a reason he got killed by his
Black
victims.
jeans, some red jeans. Like Dexter had
Come on,
it, right?
Wayne,
You know?
get your shit together.
White pants, Wayne Nance. What are you doing? Maybe he just wanted the rhyme. I don't know.
So here I am today.
Yeah.
Listeners.
We had to take a little break after that serial killer story. I had to take a giant leak, but it's so hard for me to do that when I'm on Adderall. But I was able to coax one out. I just needed a little Flomax. Thanks for being patient, listening to some Bon Jovi while we waited.
A lot of weird sounds coming out of the bathroom, but
whatever. Yeah. Besides being on the other side of the bar, smashing beers, do you have any bar experience?
I do, actually. I was a bartender for a year and a half.
How did that go?
Home.
A year and a half, huh?
Yeah.
How come such short a time?
Where I'm from, Missoula, we didn't have chain restaurants, right? Because it can cost you upwards of $1 million for a liquor license. So we didn't have Olive Garden. We didn't have that stuff come in, right? We had places that were there forever. So when you had a liquor license and a restaurant license, there was not a lot of competition. I didn't have any like crazy. It was pretty chill. I made good money. To this day, I still say and I've heard all your stories, right? And I get it on your side too. But to this day, bartending's one of my favorite jobs. Period.
I put the tender in bartender, and if you're not looking, I'll put the cock in your tail. How you doing, ladies? Does this smell like chloroform to you? How long have you been married?
Well, we've been married 23 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was just 3.
Yeah.
So
Montana's different rules. Yeah. You can drink when you're 12. You get married when you're 3. Okay.
And she gets it. She was like, hey, I'm 10. But
it's good that you figured that part out, though, quick.
Yeah, it's great. I love every second of it.
Nice. And so you've been married 20 years, you said?
23 years.
23 years, okay.
Come out with 24 this year.
Does she know you're here with me right now?
She's heard the podcast, so.
Am I going to be like the bad friend? Am I in trouble?
No.
All right, cool.
No, I already got several of those. You're good.
All right.
Yeah, those guys are fucked.
And so you guys get together and like act accordingly, right?
Cat ears. Yeah, we act accordingly. My wife has known my friends for a long time.
Are there any that come over
years.
and she's like, "Oh, you hanging out with him?"
Yeah, one.
Oh yeah? Tell me about this one. I want to hear.
So, but I can't because he'll listen. I get mad.
Okay.
No, we can talk about it.
No, we don't have to.
No, we can talk.
Change his name.
So this guy's name is Rob.
Okay.
Rhymes with nothing else. So
Bob, who spells that backwards?
No, Slob.
Okay, that's what we're going for, Slob. I like this guy. I want to meet him.
Slob.
I already like him.
Actually, I love this guy. This guy's fucking awesome. There's something like some sensibility, some white noise there. Listener, everyone should have one of these. This is the guy that would, let's pretend we had to bury a body.
He's the guy.
He's that dumb.
Like, I'm that guy.
Dumb.
I think I'm that guy for a lot of people. But then, like, the reality of it is, in theory, it works. Like, oh, I got to bury a body. Like, you will help me. I'm like, yeah, sure. You're my ride or die. But, like, when we get there, I'm not going to really, like, dig or do any, like, laborious shit.
That's why Robbie's great.
He'll do the digging?
That's why Slobby's great. He's like, dude, he's a master digger.
So what kind of shit have you guys gotten up to in the past?
Think about this, listener. What was the greatest $20 you ever spent? Or that was spent on you? Or less, right? $20 less.
$20.
Doesn't even matter if it's 1982. It doesn't matter if it was yesterday, right? Think about it.
I have no idea, man. Like, shit. $20 never really... Oh, I'll tell you. The best $20 I ever spent, I bought 4 $5 lottery tickets, scratch tickets. I won $500 on them. And then I pulled out of the gas station and all 4 tires went flat. And it cost me like $480. So I think I came back with $20. It's the same $20.
But you had a great time.
It was like I was so happy for a second.
And you remember it.
It was an emotional roller coaster. Oh, yeah, no, I'll never forget that. It's like I rolled over some nails or something. I don't know what the fuck happened. The old Chevy Cavalier.
So, why I ask that question is I don't want to tell your listeners a lot, but I read brains. So
he has ESPN.
Right. Right.
He's totally physic.
Yep. I can remember my best $20 ever spent. It was my senior year in college, and I was with a good buddy of mine in D.C., and we were interning for some state senator there. Out there for 2 months, and
So this night alone has been the thing that's really scuttled your political career. Let's be honest.
But it was a great experience.
And were you married at the time?
No.
Okay.
But I just started dating my now current wife.
Okay, because I was gonna say like DC, like that whole arena is like being in Hollywood. Except the celebrities are the politicians, and so it's like who you're connected to, right? Like you got a little gravitas with everybody.
Totally understandable. And we got like 3 of those moments. For the most part, though, we were the top ramen kids.
Okay.
And even though we were making money in D.C., no, we hung out with the poor crowd.
I had no idea you had the political aspirations. This is crazy.
I didn't. It was just a cool-ass fucking job.
Okay.
So, we were on our way to our hotel, and as we were walking by, and we were probably a couple blocks from our hotel, we walked by this like burnt-out old hotel, and there was like a whole bunch of people standing outside in front. What the fuck? It's like almost 2 a.m. What are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, we don't know. I'm like, you're just standing here in line. You don't know? I'm like, yeah. They're like, we just heard there's something good going on. So my buddy's like, well, do you want to go home? I'm like, I just feel it never sleeps or something. So yeah, no, let's just stay up. So I get in the back of the line, and he walks up the front and talks to the bouncer. He's like, hey, what's going on? Comes back and tells me, he's like, hey, listen, so it's $19.99 to get in. But he won't tell me what it is. He's like, no idea, right? At that point in time, the line actually started to move, and it's probably 2:30 in the morning. And so we get through the line pretty quick. There's only, 50-ish people there. And we get in, and as soon as we enter, we paid our $20. He's like, no, it's $19.99. And he gives us back a penny. I'm like, I don't want a penny. He's like, nope, it's important. Here's your penny, right? Okay, whatever, dude. So as soon as we get in the door, it's a small room. It's probably like a foot bigger than Greg's closet that we're recording in.
A square foot.
Look around and everything is decked out in purple. Well, sure enough, Prince rolls out, right?
Jesus.
Yeah. And he's famous for doing this. He would play the big shows, which he played at.
It's like the Chappelle of music. Just
right.
kind of shows up and does.
And then did the after parties, and we just were dumb as fuck. 2 stupid idiots from Montana rolling down the fucking East Philly highway.
Yeah.
We end up in this
freaking Prince for $19.
And for you Phillies out there, you understand this. It was the Club Egyptian or Egyptian, something like that. Maybe it was the hotel. So he played from 4:30 to 6:30. He played 2 hours. He only played the only like recognizable song that you most know would he played his own version of When the Doves Cry.
So this was acoustic, I'm assuming.
No.
Oh, really? Full band?
Full band, yeah.
Whoa.
Well, full band meaning 3. It's a fucking small stage, right? You had the drummer and the synthesizer and him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude.
So I'm watching a little 4'6" Prince roll around in front of my, I'm
doing his spins on his high heels.
totally fine with his dick being in my face. I'm like, whoa,
It's
it's Prince.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Bring on Bruce Willis.
You mean
I
Prince Willis?
love Bruce Willis. Did you ever listen to some of his music?
Going out to Bruno Rattolini.
Respect yourself.
Do you remember that Bruno Rattolini?
Yes.
Seagram's golden wine coolers. That's when he's on Moonlighting. For those of you who don't know, Bruce Willis had an alter ego that was like a blues musician named Bruno Rattolini.
He also killed asteroids.
He did.
In his spare time.
If you don't want to miss a thing with that. You're a treasure hunter. We got a treasure hunter in our midst, folks.
So, it was kind of cool. It was actually kind of tied into writing my first book. I sent my first book to Forrest Fenn, not knowing who he was, other than he was doing this like treasure hunt thing, and I'm like, hey, dude, I just wrote a book too.
You don't even know who it is.
I read a little bit about him, like he had like some sort of like big treasure in the Rocky Mountains and blah blah blah. But yeah, then.
What do you mean, blah, blah, blah? Tell people who he is. Like, not everybody knows this.
Yeah, okay, so
Forrest Fenn.
He did actually respond to that email.
Oh, he did?
He did.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He was really cool. He's like, hey, send me your book. I'd love to read it.
Get out.
No.
That's awesome. Did
you
get any feedback
from him? I did. And you know what? He died the next year or so. Oh. I don't know if that was anything.
Well, if he's like, hey, send me your book, I bet a lot of people are doing that. And it's on the list. You know what I mean? It's on the backlog.
No, kidding. It took him like 6 more years to die. But totally cool guy. Didn't get back to me, and I don't care. I didn't expect him to, right? But then I kind of read into his story, and it was pretty cool. This is an old arts antiquity dealer that sold like some pretty high level or high priced art to like John Wayne, Joe Rogan, and Post Malone. Like, this guy did a lot of like interspecies like trading. So
he's like this rich, like eccentric guy.
Super rich, eccentric guy. But he's like also a Vietnam Purple Heart member, right? So this guy got shut down in Nam, right, twice, and lived out of it, POV status, and then he came to Texas, where he's from, figured out that he had to do something.
Do you mean POW status?
What did I say?
POV, point of view.
Oh yeah, point of view. I meant KOA.
KIA.
A lot of the.
You mean like those cars?
No, not KIA, because that's killed in action. But KOA, the camper site.
Oh, okay.
So he got shot down a lot of camper sites in the 80s. Fucking Tom Cruise.
When I put on the brakes, he's gonna fly right by.
God damn it! I guess we'll see the new one. So this guy, like, legit, right?
Speaking of Top Gun, can I just tell you this story? This is hilarious.
Yes.
So, like, I think it was 5th grade. In my public high school in my small town in Massachusetts, one day they separated all the dudes and all the girls, and then like it was like a health class kind of thing, or it was just like a random fucking
do a lot of frisking or anything like that.
No, but like we come back, like everybody watched a movie, you know what I mean? And then we come back like, hey, what did they show you guys? Like, oh, it was like one of those shows about our periods and like, you know, like female hygiene and stuff like that with adolescence and puberty. I'm like, really? They showed us Top Gun. That's what they did. They gathered all the boys and showed us Top Gun.
That's
like,
so perfect.
Yeah, instead of getting the puberty and sex talk.
So
they showed us like dudes topless, oiled up, playing beach volleyball.
Fucking Val Kilmer. God, what a glorious god.
Yep. That's right, Ice. Oh, dude, Top Secret. Top Secret is like my favorite movie of all time. Like the Zucker brothers who did Airplane. Mm-hmm. And then I'll take Real Genius when he's Chris Knight at Pacific.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Pacific Tech or Caltech. They're building the laser. He's like, are you Chris
Little
Knight?
Pauly Shore. You know Pauly Shore, right?
I've met him a few times, yeah.
Did you play at his club?
I did. Comedy Store. A lot. Yep. He would come on sometimes. He had a great joke. He's like, I want to make a female version of Viagra. I'm going to call it Niagara. I'm the Wheeze buddy. But what was I saying?
I lost you at the...
Yeah. No, I lost myself there. Hold on. Blooper. Boom. It's there.
So
back to the treasure hunt. Forrest Fenn, eccentric guy. He buried treasure in the Rockies somewhere, and you went out hunting for it.
Yeah. So as it turned out, like
it was an 8-stanza poem or something with all the hints.
Right. Correct. And all that's true. And there was like 9 hints within the poem, and you can go online and look up Forrest Fenn and all that stuff. True treasure hunt. Some people were worried that it wasn't. Like, this guy was kind of known as a bullshitter, but dude, this guy's a Purple Heart non-bet guy. He's not a bullshitter, and I kind of figured out. Yeah, I kind of figured that out at the beginning, and so I just had fun with it. I'm like, dude, I actually work in 3 of these states. And so at the time, instead of clocking out to go to Subway, I just fucking clock out and do like a half-mile hike to see if I could find a treasure.
So what are the 3 states, by the way?
Actually turned out to be 4 states.
What are they?
So New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, and it ended up being found in Wyoming. We just don't know.
Just found it this year, right? Or last year?
2 years ago.
Sorry. 2 years ago. Yeah, but people were doubting. Didn't people die on their way trying to find it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was a few people that died. Dude, but I mean, these guys that died, they were doing stupid things. Like, they should not have been doing it.
Didn't they snowmobile into like the snow? Like, didn't have like supplies. They died of exposure or whatever. Helicopter rescue.
Yeah, one guy went down like class 5 rapids in a Walmart fucking floaty. So it's like, you're probably not equipped to find a treasure. But, kind of bummed. Never found the treasure. Super excited someone found it. But bummed it wasn't me. I looked in all of the states. I just happened to work in those states or live in those states or have relatives. So, it's just like, hey, driving the 2.5 hours from Bridger to Bozeman. Yeah, why wouldn't you stop by at fucking Death Falls?
And you mentioned one of those states as happens to be the setting of my favorite television show of all time, Breaking Bad. And
yes.
You're a fan as well, right?
Yes.
So
Uber fan.
Yeah, same. It's funny too because like at the time that came out, I had like a literary agent, and I'd get all like the DVDs of all the pilots DVDs. That's how long ago this was. And you'd see everything.
At least it
and
wasn't
then
VHS.
the two I picked that to make it was like Samantha Who. That was like Christina Applegate. She had amnesia. There was the guy that stuck his finger in a pie, but he could touch people and solve murders. All that shit. They did the Geico Cavemen pilot, which lasted one episode, and they pulled it. But there were two that really struck me as great, and they were Breaking Bad and Californication.